but then they are given the opportunity to kind of like earn on their own and at their own pace. And and I think that's when they realize they start to learn. I think when you do come from money, you do, maybe to an extent, you do know the value of money. Well, it depends on if your parents are teaching you that value of money. But I remember I had an old coworker, and she told me about, like, yeah, you have to be smart about your money, and you have to live below your means. And so, like, I work in a career where I can get raises, every year. I can get raises depending on, like, if my education increases and then my experience. And the rule of thumb is, right, whenever you get a raise, right? The rule of thumb. I'm not saying everybody follows the rule. I'm not saying it's easy to follow the rule, but the rule of thumb is that once your income increases, you're supposed to be living as if you were making like last year's income, or and then you try to stay at that point, right? You try to stay at that point. And so, like, just say if you are making $80,000 one year, and then the next year you're making 85,000, you have to live like you're making $80,000 a year, because now then you're gonna see that money should multiply, or you should be able to, like, put that extra money somewhere else. Either you save it, hopefully you invest it so it can multiply, but that's how you're supposed to live. It's a lot easier said than done, because once you get the access to the funds, you feel like you are solving all your problems. That's why a lot of times people say, like, money don't make you happy. Money does. It can be a vehicle or tool for happiness, but it should be a tool for making, I guess, making giving you options and making your life convenient. But yeah, like, once you make a certain amount of money, like, all those debt, especially if you don't come from much, you just want to clear out all those deficits. And I don't mean debts, I mean like those things that have made you feel less than, or that when all those times that you had to go without, you want to fulfill those things, right? And then after you fulfill those things, then what happens is you start to flex, and you start to stun a little bit. I think social media makes it a little bit, it does make it hard to not flex, because, like I said, you see the people around you, and you sometimes, people ain't doing better than you, but you like, damn, like, they went on vacation. Why can't I go on vacation? Oh, damn, they bought a new whip, man. Like, what year is my car? Damn, I need to upgrade. I need to upgrade the whip. And or you want to, or another thing is too, is the fact of, like, your cost of living just tends to go up, because maybe now, right? Maybe you did live in like an urban area when they had bad schools, and now you're a parent, and you're like, yo, no, I got money that I can afford to live in this nice school district, so that's what I'm gonna do. But then a lot of people, they buy houses, and then they're house poor, right? So they live in these nice neighborhoods, but they are struggling. They're struggling to make ends meet. It is so hard. I am definitely trying to adopt, like, that mentality of, like, trying to live below my means. I feel like I'm if I am living below my means, it's just below my means. I be living at my means, man. I gotta admit it. I don't live above my means. I don't live above my means, because I don't there's never a time where I'm like really, really messed up. But there's a lot of times when I can't do certain things that I want to do, and it's a struggle, because everybody is running their own race. We talking about getting out the rat race, but everybody's moving at their own race. So, like, you get invited to things, and then you do have that fear of missing out. Like, you want to enjoy vacations with your friends, or you want to go to a concert, you want to go to an NFL football game, you want your kid to have a certain pair of sneakers. If you have kids that are athletes, now we know that everything that is involved with that costs lots of money. So yes, there are a lot of factors.